Hello everyone, welcome to my channel B&B CBS Gossip 24. Luna baby reality hits hard, Electra's devastating moment. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Friday, November 7th, reveal that the Luna Nozawa baby reality will hit hard and lead to Electra Forrester's devastating moment. B&B fans know Electra doesn't want to lose Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, or punish him for a pregnancy situation that isn't his fault. Will was Luna's victim, so Electra is trying to get past what happened and focus on the future. Of course, that's difficult when Luna is expecting Will's child. Electra can't ignore the problem forever since Will and Luna's baby is growing every day. In Friday's B&B episode, Electra won't be able to get Luna's pregnancy off her mind. We'll see Electra dwell on what's happening and worry about how this baby is going to affect her future with Will. There'll be a devastating moment for Electra, so she might imagine some nightmare scenario where Will actually forgives Luna and wants Bill Spencer to free her. Electra might work herself into a tizzy thinking that Will, Luna and Electra might actually be a family someday. However, Will wants nothing to do with Luna and will reassure Electra as many times as she needs to hear it. Despite Electra's growing concerns, Will may insist that this baby won't change anything between them. Nevertheless, Electra may admit she's not naive enough to think everything will just stay the same once the baby's born. Even if Luna remains locked up like the Spencers currently intend, Will has a permanent connection to her that'll deeply trouble Electra. On another note, Sheila Sharp may get updates on some bad news soon. If Hope Logan tells Deacon Sharp that Beth Spencer doesn't want Sheila at the wedding, Deacon may admit that to his wife. Sheila was hoping to attend the nuptials on Deacon's arm and show everyone they're a united couple again, but she may be out of luck if she's not on the guest list. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Deacon and Sheila have more issues to tackle, so stay tuned. Luna's morning. The hospital nursery light was too bright, the world too still. Luna sat in the chair beside the crib, her hands trembling around a paper cup of water. Her baby, lay sleeping in the bassinet, swaddled perfectly by a nurse who'd done it 100 times before. It should have felt peaceful. It didn't. Every heartbeat felt too loud. Every inhale reminded her of everything she didn't know, how to do this, how to be this, how to make sense of who she was now. Poppy stood by the window, pretending to scroll her phone, but her eyes kept drifting back to her daughter. "How are you feeling?" Poppy finally asked. Luna gave a hollow laugh. "That's the problem. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm happy. I'm terrified. I'm everything." Poppy stepped closer. "You're a mother now. That's exactly how it's supposed to feel." Luna looked at the baby again. Her lips parted like she wanted to say something, but her voice just broke instead. "This isn't what I pictured," she whispered. Poppy's eyes softened, guilt hidden beneath her steady expression. "I know," she said quietly. "But sometimes, the things that change us most aren't the ones we plan." Act 2, Electra's Fall. At Forrester Creations, Electra stood frozen in front of the mirror in the fitting room, wearing a gown she'd waited months to model. The cameras were ready. The team was waiting. But she wasn't. The zipper refused to close, not because it didn't fit, but because her confidence had evaporated somewhere between Luna's hospital updates and her own reflection. Zenday stood nearby, confused by the silence. "Electra," he asked softly. "You okay?" She nodded quickly, forcing a brittle smile. Yeah, just a wardrobe thing." But when she looked back in the mirror, all she saw was a woman pretending to belong. A text lit up her phone, from her agent. "They're moving forward with the next campaign. Without you." The words blurred as her vision swam. Zenday noticed. "What happened?" She blinked hard, hiding the screen. "Nothing. I'm fine." But her voice cracked. Zenday hesitated, then stepped closer, the quiet kind of concern that breaks walls without effort. "You don't have to be fine," he said. That was all it took. The tears came fast, angry, hot. "I worked so hard for this," she whispered. "Every second, every rejection, and now it's just gone." Zenday didn't touch her, he just stood beside her, grounding her with his presence. "Sometimes," he said gently, "you lose something because something bigger is about to find you." She laughed through tears. "You sound like a Hallmark card." "Maybe," he said, smiling faintly. "But you needed to hear it." Act 3, Luna's Fear. Later that afternoon, Luna was finally discharged. Bill Spencer had sent a car, because of course he had, and the driver waited outside as Poppy gathered the last of their things. RJ walked in quietly, holding a small bouquet, lilies and wildflowers, uneven, unpolished, perfectly RJ. "Hey," he said softly. Luna looked up, her eyes red but clear. "Hey. How's she doing?" Luna smiled weakly. "Sleeping. She's better than I am." He sat beside her bed. "It's a lot, here." "It's everything," she said simply. RJ hesitated. "You don't have to do this alone." "I know," she said. "But sometimes I feel like I already am." He reached out, not to hold her, just to let his hand rest near hers, a silent anchor. "Luna," he said quietly, "you've been through hell. You get to be scared. You get to not know what you're doing." Her breath caught, a sob she refused to release. "I just keep wondering," she whispered, "if I'm already failing her." RJ's voice broke too. "You're not." But both of them knew, it's what every parent says when they are terrified they might be lying. Act 4, The Collapse. Electra walked through the Forrester hallway later that night, barefoot, makeup smudged, dress still half-zipped. The office lights glowed like a stage long after the show ended. Hope found her sitting on the floor outside the design room, back against the wall. "Hey," Hope said softly. Electra looked up, startled. "Oh, I didn't think anyone was still here." "Couldn't sleep," Hope said. "Big day tomorrow. I heard about the campaign." Electra winced. "News travels fast." Hope sat down beside her. "So does compassion." Electra let out a shaky laugh. "That's not what the industry's built on." "No," Hope said, "but Forrester Creations is." That got a small smile. "You know," Hope continued, "when I first started, I thought I had to prove I belonged. To Ridge, to Brooke, to everyone. But the truth is, belonging isn't something you earn. It's something you accept." Electra's throat tightened. "I don't even know who I am without this." Hope's eyes softened. "Then maybe it's time to find out." Act V, Two stories collide. Later that night, Luna stood by the window of her apartment, rocking her baby in her arms. The city lights flickered like stars trapped behind glass. Poppy had fallen asleep on the couch, one hand still holding the hospital paperwork. RJ's jacket hung over the chair, he'd left it there earlier, when he swore he'd come back tomorrow. Luna's tears finally came. Not loud. Not desperate. Just quiet, real. The kind that come when exhaustion meets love and you realize you've never been more alive or more terrified. At that same moment, Electra stood on the Forrester rooftop, her phone in her hand, the city stretching endlessly beneath her. She scrolled through her photos, her modeling shots, her friends, Luna's baby announcement post. And something inside her cracked open. She wasn't angry at Luna anymore. She was jealous of her courage. Because Luna had lost everything, and still found meaning. Electra? She'd been chasing meaning and losing herself in the process. She lowered the phone, exhaling hard. And then she smiled, just a little, the first real one in days. Final scene, Hope's epilogue. Back inside, Hope looked at the sketches spread across her desk. She picked one up, an unfinished dress she'd designed for Luna's maternity shoot months ago. The note in the corner read, "Strength in softness." Hope traced the pencil lines with her fingertip. Maybe that's what they were all doing, trying to find strength in their softness, trying to rebuild in the ruins. As she looked out the window, lightning flickered across the skyline, a storm gathering over Los Angeles. A classic B&B cliffhanger. Luna's tears, Electra's reflection, Hope's quiet hope. Different women. Same storm. Luna sat on the couch, hair still damp from a shower she hadn't wanted to take, one hand gripping a bottle she'd forgotten to warm. Her body ached in places she didn't know could hurt. The baby began to stir in the bassinet, small, soft whimpers. Luna's chest tightened. She reached for the bottle, then froze. The room spun. Her vision blurred around the edges, her heartbeat skipping erratically. She closed her eyes, willing herself to breathe. "Come on," she whispered. "You're fine. You're fine." But she wasn't. Her legs trembled as she tried to stand. Her hand brushed the edge of the table, the glass of water toppled. The crash echoed louder than it should have. Poppy rushed in from the kitchen. "Luna." Luna swayed. Mom, And then she was on the floor. Act 2, The Panic. At Forrester Creations, RJ checked his phone for the 10th time that hour. No messages from Luna. It wasn't unusual, but today, something felt wrong. He walked into Hope's office. Hey, you heard from Luna? She was supposed to text when the home nurse came by. Hope shook her head. No, but I'm sure she's fine. First days home can be. RJ's phone buzzed. He answered immediately. Hello. RJ. It was Poppy, her voice shaky, urgent. It's Luna. She collapsed. We're at the hospital. The words hit like ice water. RJ didn't think, he ran. Act 3, The ER. The hospital's automatic doors hissed open, the sterile scent instantly recognizable. Finn looked up from a chart at the nurse's station, and froze when he saw who was being wheeled in. Luna. Pale. Unconscious. He was across the room in seconds. What happened? He asked, voice sharp, professional, but shaking at the edges. Poppy's hands trembled. She said she felt dizzy, then she just fell. Any complications after the delivery? Finn pressed. She said she was tired, but I thought. Poppy broke off, guilt catching her breath. Finn nodded quickly, already snapping into focus. Get me a vitals check and CBC stat. Let's move. The nurses worked fast, monitors beeping to life around Luna's bed. Poppy clutched the railing, whispering her daughter's name under her breath like a prayer. When RJ rushed in moments later, Finn looked up, eyes heavy but steady. She's stable, he said. But she's severely dehydrated and her blood pressure's low. Her body's exhausted, she's been pushing too hard. RJ swallowed hard. Can I see her? Finn nodded. Go. She needs someone who loves her close. RJ sat beside Luna's bed, taking her hand. Her skin was warm again, color returning slowly to her face. When her eyes fluttered open, she looked disoriented, then terrified. The baby. She's fine, RJ said quickly. Your mom's with her. Everyone's fine. Luna's breath shuddered. I thought. He squeezed her hand gently. You scared us. Her eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry. I wanted to do everything right. RJ's voice softened. Luna, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be here. Her tears broke free, silent, overwhelmed, human. Finn entered quietly, checking her chart but keeping his tone kind. You're going to be okay, Luna. You just need rest, hydration, and maybe a little grace for yourself. She tried to smile. Doctors always say that like it's easy. Finn gave a small laugh. I'm married to a woman who refuses to rest, remember? I know it's not. Luna's gaze dropped, and for a moment, she looked so young. So this is motherhood, she whispered. Terrifying and beautiful. Finn nodded. Exactly that. In the hallway, Poppy sat alone, her hands clasped, her face pale. Steffi approached quietly. She'd come as soon as Finn called. Poppy, she said gently, how is she? Poppy's voice shook. She's awake now. Finn says she'll recover. Steffi nodded, relief softening her features. Good. I'm glad. There was an awkward silence. Two women connected only by circumstance, love, and pain. Poppy broke it first. She's so young. I thought I was doing the right thing by letting her find her own way. But maybe I should have done more. Steffi exhaled. We all question ourselves. Every mother does. But she's strong. She's your daughter. Poppy looked up, eyes glistening. Thank you. Steffi's smile was faint but genuine. Just take care of her. That's all that matters. When Luna was finally alone again, she stared at the ceiling, at the fluorescent hum, at the faint rhythm of the monitors. RJ was asleep in the chair beside her, his head tilted awkwardly. She smiled softly, small, fragile, grateful. She whispered, thank you, even though he couldn't hear. Finn appeared quietly in the doorway, watching the scene with an expression that was equal parts pride and ache. Steffi joined him. She's lucky to have you, Steffi said softly. Finn nodded. She reminds me of you. Brave, stubborn, trying to carry the world. Steffi's eyes softened. Maybe we all forget it's okay to fall sometimes. He looked at her, deeply, and the space between them finally eased. For the first time in weeks, they weren't divided by secrets or fear. They were standing together, in compassion. The next morning, Luna was discharged again, weaker but smiling. Poppy helped her into the car while RJ loaded the baby bag. As they drove away, Luna looked out the window, sunlight spilling over the hills. In the rearview mirror, for just an instant, a figure stood by the parking structure, watching. A woman in a hooded coat. Too far to recognize. But familiar. The air shifted. Luna turned sharply, but the space was empty. She blinked, uneasy, clutching her baby closer. The peace she'd earned suddenly felt fragile. And far away, a faint shadow of danger moved closer to the light once more. Luna sat in it, eyes half closed, humming under her breath, the baby's head pressed gently against her shoulder. Poppy slept on the couch again, exhausted from nights of watching over both her daughter and granddaughter. RJ had left early for Forrester, promising to come back before dinner, and Luna had almost believed she was okay. Almost. The unease hadn't left. That feeling of being watched, of the world tightening around her, like something unfinished was waiting to be found. She glanced toward the window. Nothing but sunlight and the Los Angeles skyline. Still, she couldn't shake it. It came softly, 3 taps. Not loud. Not hesitant. Almost polite. Luna frowned. She wasn't expecting anyone. She rose carefully, easing the baby into her bassinet, and crossed the room. "Who is it?" she called softly. No answer. She peeked through the peephole. No one. Her pulse quickened. She took a breath, trying to calm the irrational panic rising in her chest. "You're just tired," she whispered. "You're hearing things." She turned to walk away. Another knock. Louder this time. Heart hammering, Luna reached for the doorknob, slowly, and opened it just enough to see. At first, the light from the hallway blurred the figure. Then her eyes adjusted. And she froze. Sheila. Sheila Carter stood in the doorway, hair swept back, eyes startlingly calm, hands raised as if to show she wasn't a threat. "Please don't scream," Sheila said softly. "I'm not here to hurt you." Luna's breath caught. "You shouldn't be here. My mom will." "I know," Sheila interrupted, almost smiling. "She'll call the police. Finn will call me a monster. Steffi will make sure I disappear again." Her tone shifted, quieter. "But I needed to see you." Luna's voice trembled. "Why me?" Sheila stepped closer, not inside yet, but close enough that Luna could see the ache behind her eyes. "Because you're the only one who doesn't look at me and see a monster yet." Luna's spine stiffened. "I've heard everything you've done." Sheila nodded. "I'm sure you have." "Then why are you here?" Luna whispered. Sheila's eyes darkened, not angry, not cruel, knowing. "To warn you." Luna's heartbeat thundered. "Warn me? About what?" "Not what," Sheila said softly. "Who?" She took another careful step inside before Luna could stop her. "Finn." Luna's shock registered immediately. "Don't you dare." "I'm not saying he'll hurt you," Sheila said, raising her hands again. "I'm saying his breaking. The pressure, Steffi's fear, Rich's judgment, your accident, his carrying too much. And when Finn breaks, people get hurt." Luna's mouth went dry. "You're lying." Sheila tilted her head, sad, almost gentle. "Sweetheart, do you really think I'd come here if I wanted to lie? I've accepted that Steffi will never forgive me. That Finn will never trust me again. But you." Her eyes softened, unsettlingly maternal. "You remind me of him. Before the world decided who he was allowed to love." Luna swallowed hard, torn between terror and curiosity. "You're trying to turn me against him." Sheila's voice dropped to a whisper. "No. I'm trying to prepare you." "Prepare me for what?" Sheila's gaze flicked to the bassinet, the baby sleeping peacefully. "For the truth." Luna's voice shook. "Get out." Sheila didn't move. "Get out," Luna repeated, louder this time, clutching the edge of the door like a shield. Sheila's expression didn't change, but her tone softened again, dangerously soothing. "I'm not your enemy, Luna. But one day soon, You'll see what happens when Finn tries to save everyone at once. I said leave, Luna said, tears stinging now. Sheila sighed, the sound of someone tired, not menacing. I know you think I'm the villain, she said. And maybe I am. But remember this, when everything falls apart, I'm the one person who understands what it feels like to be locked out of your own family. Then she turned, slow, deliberate, and walked out the door. Luna slammed it shut and locked it, chest heaving, tears spilling down her cheeks. The baby stirred in the bassinet, letting out a small cry. Luna rushed to her, scooping her up, whispering, "It's okay. You're safe. You're safe." But her own voice didn't sound convinced. An hour later, Poppy returned from the pharmacy with a bag of prescriptions. "Luna," she called out. "I got." She stopped mid-sentence when she saw her daughter on the couch, trembling, the baby in her arms. "Sweetheart, what happened?" Luna looked up slowly. She was here. Poppy's breath caught. "Who?" Luna's lips quivered. "Sheila." For a moment, silence filled the room, then Poppy's composure shattered. "Are you sure?" She knocked. "She came in. She said she came to warn me." Poppy's face drained of color. "Warn you about what?" Luna's eyes filled. "About Finn." Poppy's horror deepened. "Oh, my God." She took Luna's face gently in her hands. "Listen to me. Whatever she said, it's manipulation. That woman doesn't warn. She uses. She saw you alone and she's trying to scare you." "She didn't sound angry," Luna whispered. "She sounded sad." "That's worse," Poppy said firmly. "That's when she's most dangerous." She grabbed her phone. "I'm calling Finn." Act 7, The Confrontation. 10 minutes later, Finn and Steffi burst through the door. Luna sat frozen, pale, holding her baby. Poppy hovered protectively beside her. Finn's voice was controlled, but tight. "Tell me exactly what she said." Luna's throat ached as she tried to remember every word. "She said that you were breaking. That you were carrying too much. That when you do, people get hurt." Steffi's expression hardened, fear hiding under fury. "She's trying to get to you through him." Finn rubbed his forehead, his chest rising and falling too fast. "How did she even know where you live?" Poppy swallowed. "Bill had a car assigned to us. Maybe someone followed." Steffi turned toward Finn. "This has to stop, Finn. She's out there. She's watching all of us." Finn's jaw clenched. "I'll find her." "Finn," Steffi started. No, his voice was steel. "She came for Luna. She crossed a line." He turned to Luna, his eyes gentler now. "You did nothing wrong. She's desperate. She wants control, and she thinks she can use my name to scare people." Luna nodded, but the fear remained. Because Sheila hadn't threatened her. She'd warned her. And warnings have weight when they sound like truth. Later that night, Luna sat in bed, the baby finally asleep. The apartment was dark except for the streetlight filtering through the curtains. She replayed Sheila's words. "When Finn breaks, people get hurt." She shook her head. "No," she whispered. "She's lying." She reached for her phone, opening a text from RJ. "Love you. See you in the morning." Her breath eased, for a moment. Until a sound came from the hallway. A faint creak. Luna froze. Another sound, a whisper of movement. She got up, heart racing, clutching her baby monitor. When she opened the door, the hallway was empty. Just the echo of her own breathing. Then, somewhere beyond the stairwell, a shadow shifted, and a soft voice, barely audible, said, "Don't say I didn't warn you." The door slammed shut.